I love Kakegurui and I love interacting with the fan base. However, with all communities, there's this problems, and one of the most prevalent issues I witnessed while being a part of this fan base is the unwarranted hatred from my man, Ryoto Suzui. Now let's make this clear. I'm not some authority figure on who you should like, love, hate. None of that, alright? This is just me giving my opinion on the situation at hand, so you can take it or leave it. I have not a damn clue why this has been circulating in my Twitter circle, but recently I've been seeing a lot of tweets from different accounts bashing Suzui, talking about how useless he is, talking about how boring he is, talking about how he shouldn't be the MC, yada yada yada. I'm here to personally tell y'all, all of y'all,
shut the fuck up.
Cease from tweeting, stop typing, and use your damn heads, alright? First though, allow me to reiterate because I know how my words might be perceived. I'm not saying that you can't dislike or even hate Suzui. He's nowhere near my top 10 characters, probably not even top 20, but I do think the rationale for the Suzui slander is stupid. Let's take a crack at the biggest offender. Some do not like Suzui because he is a useless MC. Now, I know some of you who actually think logically or are unbiased about Suzui might be confused at what I just said, but that's an actual take and it seems to be popular. I want all y'all niggas to stop playing. Stop fucking with me. There's no way y'all really sat there and watched 24 episodes of this shit, read 76 chapters, and came to that conclusion. There is no fucking way. There's the notion that Suzui is the MC because he was shown first before Yumiko, but I'm still not understanding this idea. First, the series is titled Kakegurui, which translates to compulsive gambler. Correct me if I'm wrong, but does Suzui look like a fucking compulsive gambler to you? But I know who does. The person he literally labeled a Kakegurui in the first damn episode / chapter, Yumiko. Second, the title of the first episode and chapter is A Girl Called Yumiko Jabami. Third, and most importantly, the entire series is focused on Yumiko, not Suzui. This is a series about gambling, yet people think the guy who's had a total of 3 gambles is the MC? And even in those gambles that I'm referring to, he wasn't the focal point. The first gamble was a game of poker versus Mary, which was largely off-screen and was there primarily to set the stage of Hikawa Academy, show us the pet system, and build up Mary. The second gamble is a simple coin flip with Yumiko, which some people might not even consider a gamble. And the last one was his participation in the Nemtype Zero game with formerly Yumiko, Mary, Mio, and Miri, where again, he was not the centerpiece. Put those 3 gambles with Yumiko's 18 gambles if I'm just talking about the manga. Also, those 18 gambles were drawn out and against a multitude of relevant characters, so it should be abundantly clear who the MC of Kakegurui is. Next, time to address the Suzui is useless critique. In my eyes, when you call a character useless, it's because of them falling short of certain expectations. Suzui is not a good gambler and is bottom tier in comparison to the rest of the cast, but that was established from the jump. Suzui became a house pet in the first 3 pages of Kakegurui. At what point did people think, hey yo, this nigga Suzui is about to be a gambling god in the future? And even if you didn't follow that line of thought, Suzui, as I said before, has had 3 gambles, with 2 of them lasting only a maximum of 4 pages. He isn't put in a position to where his inept gambling skills are ever a real problem, so I think people are misunderstanding what his role is in the story. Suzui is not a powerhouse gambler. In my estimation, he never will be. Even though this is a gambling series, Suzui shouldn't be judged purely as a gambler. Suzui's relevance comes in 2 forms. He is a support to Yumiko and plays a straight man in Kakegurui, probably in more meanings than one. In Hikawa Academy, where we're dealing with sadistic niggas, masochist niggas, amoral niggas, nail-taking niggas, murderous niggas, two-faced niggas, Suzui is juxtaposed with the absurdity of the entire cast. Suzui is actually unique in the world of Kakegurui simply because there are rarely normal people. Damn near everyone in that school has more than a couple of screws loose, except for our average Joe, Suzui. In a way, Suzui can be thought of as an extension of the audience, because if the viewers did experience Kakegurui in the place of Suzui, they would probably react to things the exact same way. Point is, Suzui's perspective should be appreciated because it's new in Kakegurui and is sort of a reflection of the normal people. As for a supporting role with Yumeko, a lot of people miss or ignore this, but Suzui is one of the closest people to Yumeko. Even though it was unintentional, Suzui provided Yumeko fun in her debut gamble with Mary, and Suzui was the first person she considered a friend. This bond and this dynamic was deepened throughout the series, and we see examples here and there. There was a time Kiwatari attempted to sexually assault Yumeko, and Suzui tried his best to intervene before Midori ultimately stepped in. There was the ESP game where Yumeko was able to get Suzui's cards without any talk or strategy between the two, because of Suzui having confidence in Yumeko to know that he had no real strategy and would play the same hand twice. There was the Nem Type 0 game where Yumeko got poisoned, and Suzui not only called Mary to help, but took the risk of being poisoned himself by fully trusting Mary in their ploy just to save Yumeko. Finally, one of the most overlooked moments came in chapter 69, when Yumeko and Suzui observed Mary's gamble, during which Mio poisoned herself in an attempt to make Mary surrender. Suzui asked Yumeko would she try to stop Mio had she been in Mary's shoes, to which Yumeko replied somberly, "If I said no to you, would you think less of me for it?" To which Suzui surprises Yumeko by saying no, he wouldn't think less of her, and even remarks that Yumeko might enjoy that type of grueling gamble. After that, Yumeko says that she is gladder than ever that she is friends with Suzui. Now, what does that whole exchange mean? Suzui is one of the few people that understands and accepts Yumeko. Even though Suzui can be caught off guard by Yumeko's antics, he realizes how her mind works and doesn't shun her, but instead tries to support her. This support is more than just physical things like gambling or giving out money. Suzui is by Yumeko's side emotionally as a real friend, but of course, the people don't give a fuck. Closing point, and I'm not entirely sure about this one, but I still had to mention it. I think some people hate Suzui because he is shipped with Yumeko, and I'm not joking. Maybe people believe that Suzui threatens the status quo of the Yuri-filled atmosphere in Kakegurui. I don't know, but if you hate Suzui for this reason, stop fucking hating. Yumeko and Suzui have had plenty of moments and interactions to make a ship between them valid, and even if that weren't the case, who cares? Like I said though, this point is somewhat unfounded from my perspective, so hopefully my comment only applies to a minuscule group. All in all, Suzui isn't an exciting character. I can see why people don't like him and find him boring, but big ass oiled up Brazilian butt. Suzui is not put in the forefront enough to garner the hate that he gets. He plays his role as a supporting character well and has good aspects to his character other than being a good gambler. So leave Suzui alone, bitch.
Tasting your soul, you're not in control, just giving you goals. Scared of your past, the future is closed. The start is the end is a start. They both are the same, can't tell them apart. Nigga, that's cuz the intro was the outro.